because they used to come around, they don't anymore.
Yeah.
Never see them.
You never see them.
You see them on Interstate by Bismarck all the time, but I mean, that's different. Different, yeah.
Legislatively, do they allocate more money for more of those people? Because I'm in Doc's camp that they're way more efficient in doing that than the county trying to come up with some makeshift deal.
And when you put restrictions on, that would be the time to do it. Because then you'd get twice out of your dollar. You'd get the restrictions and would to let everybody know they're gonna better haul legal.
The one thing that I've noticed in my time here is some of there's what I would say 6 months of heavy hauling on our roads, and obviously that starts in September, August when harvest starts.
Right.
But once it gets cold, some of the heaviest hauling we're seeing right now is January and February, because they're trying to get bushels to the elevators right now. Our truck plows have been out in County 5 to the point where the guys have said, I've seen 9 trucks going to the Hamburg elevator running from Harvey to Hamburg. Okay, they're hauling heavy now. When restrictions come on and their yards start to get soft, the hauling slows down because they don't want to tear up their yards. And they can't, so I think the time to do it is maybe in June after they get their crops in, and maybe in December or November during the end of harvest.
I understand.
Here's another idea I had is that education, post something at elevators or wherever, keep your loads legal, help us protect our roads. But I think what Stan said, most of the drivers never get out of their truck.
They don't.
And so,
Put it on social media.
but education would probably be just as good as, our farmers are our biggest taxpayers, and they gotta move their product. It's not like we want to penalize them, but we want to make them aware of keeping their loads legal. So,
Don't do it the same time every year.
Well, yeah, it would kind of be on the, if this was even possible, that we could schedule something like that. You could put word out, you could put word in the paper that the county that there's gonna be truck regulatory a couple times a year on our county pavement.
Don't know when.
so Dan,
Don't know when.
to report this to the 6th county meeting?
Like,
Well, when we go back there, I would assume it's going to be a topic of discussion. And you probably just have to make it be known that it's just not financially feasible for Wells County to pursue a full-time.
I guess that's where I'm at. What do you guys think?
But remain flexible in that maybe, in a perfect world, some counties got a half-time guy, a ward guy, that would do it on a part-time basis. Then it would work.
You could just hire them for
Any
the day.
idea what scales
That's what I would
cost?
like.
Yeah.
What scales cost? Probably not as much as you think.
Ward's
That's probably something to find out, because we do have Ward now. I don't want to open up a whole other can of worms, but we knew that we got cut off from future Stone Garden. It's my understanding we lost the whole thing now.
Right.
Really?
Yep.
Which means Ward's not going to continue to work for Wells County. Or I wouldn't think.
Because he got a lot more money by the Stone Garden than he did regular wages.
Right.
And
That's
as a
why.
result of that, if you were to reach out, get him certified and get him some scales, I think he's the best law enforcement officer we have.
And he could work for other counties too. He could.
He's got
a little enterprise.
It boils down to if he wants to do that.
Right.
He's got the perfect setup because he's got the pickup.
Yeah.
But he's not working for the same way.
Yeah, but he's got 2 pickups sitting there. He's got
Yeah.
a Gator County pickup and a Wells County
Yep,
pickup sitting
I
there.
seen him the other day.
Is that pick of Stone Garden though? Or is that Wells County?
No, it's
No, we bought that way before Stone Garden.
So,
Lost,
Well, even if Stone Garden paid for it, it still belongs to Wells County.
No, that, I don't think that is.
No, they bought it as UV.
Do you think, because this is off the subject now, we got a change of administration, that Stone Garden may come back?
I have no idea.
Paranoid about the border, as we are, and that's speculation. But,
Do they have any money?
no.
What it comes to.
So,
I think the only way Stone Garden would come back here is if they had a different person in the sheriff's department. That's my belief. I did a little research.
That's not true. They got rid of all the tertiary counties.
How come ours went to Benson?
Benson's further north, they're a secondary county.
I realize that. But when it all comes out in the wash, you'll get to understand what's going on. That's all I can say right now.
So is that, am I out of bounds by saying it that way, that it's just not financially feasible for, is that the consensus of the group here?
Sounds confusing to how it's gonna work between 6 counties and split it all up between everybody to me. Who's gonna have when, where?
I think that's pretty accurate.
We just feel the costs would be restrictive,
With benefit.
or without.
Yeah.
I'd be really willing to pay for a day or two to hire
Right,
somebody.
exactly.
Yeah, just randomly,
Yep.
that would
Okay.
be way better off, I would think.
And to get somebody, first you gotta have somebody certified, and then they gotta have a vehicle, and then they get all the benefits, blah, 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 you know, so it's a spending deal.
Even for 6 counties, there isn't enough, in my mind, there isn't enough work for that
I
person
agree.
in 6
I
counties.
agree.
I mean, how many people could you stop in a day?
Yeah.
Well, if you
5?
think about that,
That's 30 a week, 600 a year, or,
regardless who it is, they have to live someplace, and you pay just as much for windshield time as you would probably for enforcement.
Yeah.
right.
That's a big area, and when we go to Ashley to a meeting, or Linton to a meeting, you realize how big the 6-county area is.
Yeah.
Yeah, if the state has regulatory people, though, they travel a long ways too. I'm curious to know how many scales does the state have, statewide? Is it 3, is it 5, is it 8? I don't know. It isn't very many, because there's never any around here.
Well, let's,
Yeah.
like you said, let's leave it at that.
Okay.
Dan, you wanna explain the telecommuting, I know you sent the agreement to all of us.
Yeah,
I think we all
it's
read it
just,
over.
I have 3 upcoming appointments that are pretty big for me. The 12th, the 13th, and the 20th this month. I believe the 2 on the 12th and the 13th are likely to allow me to become a regular employee again. I just don't know if I can be a regular employee between now and next week.
I don't think we want you to be, I think we want you to get your help.
Yeah.
I agree
So-
with that, I don't have any say in it.
So it's a work from home, but even in that, I'm not a 37-hour a week person, especially with those appointments that I spoke of. It's just to allow me some time at home where I can do some things, but it's certainly not full-time. I've got ample sick leave to cover this, even if you don't approve of it.
No,
But there are things that do come up, and for example, when I get home today, I'll put together these minutes and I'll start putting together a bill for the townships, for example. It's stuff that's got to be done, you've got to find time to do it, etc. And the other portion of this is on March 14th, which has nothing to do with my health. Obviously, I've got to be back in good health at that point, but it's my intent to go to Arizona for 2 weeks at that point. There's things that have to be done, whether it's payroll or whatever, in there. So that's what I'm requesting from you. And again, in that latter part of March, there'll be some vacation time used there as well.
so we,
I'll make a motion that we approve telecommunication
okay.
agreement. for
Motion
Dan.
made by Stan to
I'll second it.
agree to it, Brian Lowe. Second, any discussion on it?
Well, and just FYI, that's not a unique form, but I don't know if you read it or not, that we did one for Carla Johnson here, I don't know when, but it was a while back. She went on vacation and needed to work a couple hours, so it's a
Yeah.
template that we've used before, is
Absolutely.
my point.
Yeah, and I'd suggest use it as much as you need to, because
Right.
Take care of yourself.
Right.
Any other discussion, anybody else? If not, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion carried.
I think what they just said is you're going outside for recess, put your cap on.
Yeah.
March meeting is Tuesday, March 4th. Township supervisor meeting is on the day before, March 3rd. 6th County meeting is March 12th. McIntosh County.
That's it. Linton?
No,
No,
Ashley.
Ashley.
that's our longest trip, I think.
That's,
Going down to
that's the
Ashley.
one you pack a bag.
Ashley.
that's the one I went with Boone on, and we took gravel the whole way.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, we did not.
Well, you had to cross the pavement a couple times, but the rest was gravel.
I don't know, I'm still chuckling about you asking Boone if he fishes.
Do we have
very
anything
often.
else for the good of the order, Dan?
No.
I have a question.
Okay.
How many hours did Ward work last month?
Hardly any.
It was just a few.
Okay, I was gonna ask you next if you've
His
seen it.
time sheet is in there.
It's, yeah, I looked at it. I never looked at time sheets, but I saw that. It,
He worked a few
Weekend or
previous
something?
month, but then, 10 hours for Wells County and then 20 Stone Garden. So,
So he worked 30
Four.
hours last month.
4 different days in January.
Just
And
curious.
I think in December he only had 2 or 3 or something.
Okay.
But he said he was busy. I talked to him a while ago when he was busy doing rodeo stuff.
Yeah.
November, December, yes.
Okay, nothing else? Meeting adjourned.
So move.
Dan, you want us to put these tables away?
Now we need to form a square with them again.
Okay.